Five-fold thumb. Did Bryan Singer really think we're dumb to not notice the similarities between Jack the Giant Slayer and Hellboy 2? I guess if you didn't see it, you would notice the similarities. Jack the Giant Slayer. Jack the Giant Slayer, directed by Bryan Singer, who directed the only two good X-Men films, and Usual Suspects. Don't even want to think about Superman Returns. And he's directing this film with Nicholas Hoult from X-Men First Class, who was Beast, and he was in the Warm Bodies film. He plays Jack in this film, and Eleanor Collinson plays Princess Isabel. As kids, these two were told a story of giants invading and Isabel's grandfather making the giants go away with a magic crown that controls the giants. Gee, a magic crown that controls the giants. I seem to remember a magic crown in this movie that controlled the Golden Army. And Isabel and Jack grow up. When Jack grows up, his father and his mother are dead, and he's forced to live with his uncle. Isabel's all grown up, and her father, the king, played by Ian McShane from Pirates of the Caribbean 4, he was Blackbeard in that movie. He has made an arranged marriage for Isabel to marry Roderick, played by Stanley Tucci. You've seen the trailer, you know that he's the main villain in this film. We also have Elmont, who's played by Ewan McGregor. He's the captain of the guards. And Isabel doesn't want to be married to Roderick. She doesn't love the guy, and she wants to get to know the common people better so she can become a better queen when she eventually becomes queen. So she hides among the common people in the marketplace to get to know them. Jack goes to the marketplace with his horse to sell it because he and his uncle are stripped for cash. A monk comes up to Jack saying, "I'll give you some beans for the horse." the magic beans, just like in the tale. Jack also meets up with Isabel in the marketplace and defends her honor. And this is also where he meets up with Elmont, the captain of the guards. And we also see a cameo of Warwick Davis. Anybody who knows who Warwick Davis is, he's Willow from one of the few good George Lucas films. Yeah, he's like in there for like 5 minutes on a stage. And when Jack sees Isabel and they meet and he's a quick fall in love, like quote love at first sight kind of deal. Elmont takes Isabel back to the king because in a way he's her bodyguard. And then Jack's horse is stolen by the monk and Jack is left with the beans. Jack brings the beans back to his uncle. His uncle gets mad, so mad that he makes one of the beans falls underneath the table, and the monk told Jack, "Do not get the beans wet." Jack is able to get all the other beans into a little pouch and put the pouch in his pocket. Now realizes that one of the beans fell under his house. A rainstorm happens. She could get wet. Isabel is trapped, caught in the rain. She goes to Jack's house for shelter, meets up with Jack again, and they start some chemistry. The seed gets wet, the beanstalk grows with Isabel in the house, and Jack falls out of the house onto the ground. And when Elmont and the king and Roderick realize that Isabel is trapped is on top of the beanstalk and they gotta climb up to save her, Elmont gathers his best men, and Jack volunteers to go along to save the princess. Roderick also goes along because he wants to help out too. No, he doesn't. He wants to use the magic crown that controls the giants to take over the kingdom. And this movie, a queen hiding among the common people, a princess hiding among the common people, and in this movie you had a princess hiding among the common people. You had the princess fall in love with an ordinary guy in Jack, the Giant Slayer, and this movie she's falling in love with Abraham Sapien, who's kind of like an ordinary guy, but yeah, an ordinary sea creature, but still an ordinary guy. I mean, that's one of the things that really bugged me with the blatant similarities between this and Hellboy 2. I mean, I know movies use a lot of cliches, but but that to be so blatantly obvious. So the captain of the guards go up the beanstalk. Jack and Roderick save the princess. They get captured by the giants. Isabel is also captured by the giants. Roderick puts on the magic crown to take over the giants. Isabel says, "Are you mad? I'm talking to giants." And the giants have a real childish tone to them. You see the giants picking their noses, fart jokes. One of the giants has a very long hair, or the lead giant, General Fallon, voiced by Bill Nye, has two heads. One of the heads is very stupid looking. And one of the things I like about this movie, even though the CGI in Giants is terrible, you can really tell it's fake, is the names for the Giants. Fee, voiced by Cornell John. Phi, voiced by Andrew Brooke. Foe, voiced by Angus Barnett. Fum, voiced by Ben Daniels. I just found that so clever that they worked the words fee, fi, fo, fum into the names. And I did like that even though we had more than one bad guy, that the main bad guys each took turns. For a little while it was Roderick, and then later on it was General Fallon, that was the main bad guy. The action scenes are pretty good. The 3D is pretty good. I mean, there are times when you really notice it. There are times when you don't notice it at all. So I guess if you saw it in 2D, it wouldn't be too bad. It's a good movie for kids. In a way, it's a good romance movie because you got great chemistry between Nicholas Hoult and Eleanor Tomlinson. Ewan McGregor has some of the best lines in the film, like when Jack says, "Am I dead?" and Ewan McGregor says, "Not just yet." Well, I had this. He's wrapped up in a dough like a hot dog or tortilla, and Giant puts a little toothpick in between his legs. Jack obviously gets him out of that. So I'm giving the movie an 8.5. I really like this movie a lot. The costume design was pretty good when you had Isabel in her golden suit of armor and the king in his gold armor as well. And I didn't really mind the bad CGI too much. So yeah, it's a pretty good movie to watch in the theater and maybe to rent. And that's my review of Jack the Giant Slayer.